Hey guys, Xander Holt here, the primal sex expert. And this is part 2 of my very special video series on helping men get their women in the mood and helping women get their men in the mood. Now, if you understand this information, it will give you superpowers in regards to relating to the opposite sex. Because very few people understand this information, and actually science didn't even know this until relatively recently. So when you understand this information, you will understand the opposite sex much better. Now in the first video, we talked about how men can help their women with their sex drive and relaxing. And today we're going to talk about how women can help their men lower their stress and get in the mood. Because here's what science has found. It's important to understand is that stress is lowered in men versus women through completely different biochemicals. Let me show you how that works. Now, if we look at, it starts in the adrenal glands, and from cholesterol, there is a hormone produced called pregnenolone. Now, depending on whether or not, if you're in a relaxed mood and you're in your parasympathetic nervous system, that pregnenolone gets converted into DHEA, which then becomes either testosterone or estrogen, which is what we want, those sex hormones. That's what's getting us in the mood. But if we're in a fight or flight response and we're stressed, then that pregnenolone becomes progesterone, which becomes cortisol, and that's stress. And unfortunately, we live in an environment where we're under a lot of stress, so we get a lot of this cortisol. So it's very important for our relationships that we not only learn how to lower it in ourselves, but help our partner lower their stress levels as well. Because when people are stressed or not in stress, relationships are way more fluid and there's way more intimacy going on. So, how do we do that? Well, this is what's important to know. So, for women, this cortisol level is decreased through oxytocin. Okay, and we talk about that in the first video. That's like a connecting feeling sensation, connecting, touch, that type of stuff. That's what decreases cortisol, but that does not work for men. Men need oxytocin and women need testosterone, but the oxytocin will not lower a man's cortisol. What lowers a man's cortisol is testosterone. So what we need to do is boost his testosterone. If you want to get him in the mood, you want to get him relaxed and in the mood, boost the testosterone. So how does that work? Well, first of all, what's important to understand is that rest and relaxation are the most important things when it comes to building testosterone. In addition to certain nutrients, you need zinc, you need magnesium, you need vitamin D. Now, I made several videos on the essential supplements that you need for testosterone as well as oxytocin. Watch those videos as that will help you in addition to the tips I'm going to give you here. But other than that, sleep. And I also made videos on sleep. Testosterone is primarily produced in the last 6 to 8 hours of sleep. So just making sure you get really good sleep. And that is really good for your overall hormonal balancing too, if you're a woman. Sleep is so critical. But here's something that men need even more than women, and that's rest at the end of the day. Because what men tend to do is they try to fix stuff all day long, which is natural to men, and it boosts their testosterone levels. But there comes a point where they can't do that anymore. They need to rest. And the last thing they want to do is be thinking about the problems that they haven't been able to fix yet. So that's why they get on the sofa or they go in their man cave and they relax. It's because that brings their testosterone levels back up as they're resting and forgetting about their problems. But, I talked about this in the first video. We tend to give our partner what works for us out of compassion, and we try to help them in a way that helps us. But here's the problem is that for women, what tends to help is talking about it. Right? Sharing and talking and connecting, because that builds oxytocin, which decreases cortisol levels in women. But for men, that doesn't work. So a lot of times where he doesn't want to talk about his day, that's why, is because he wants to forget about his problems so his testosterone can come up and his cortisol can come down. So it's a little bit of a different strategy between the genders. So if you can keep that in mind, that will help. Another thing that's really important is the winner effect. When guys feel like they're winning, then testosterone goes up. When they feel like they're losing, testosterone goes down. They can show this with sports teams. When a sports team wins, testosterone goes up. When a sports team loses, testosterone goes down. So one of the main complaints guys have is that their woman's not happy and they don't feel like they can fix it. Or they don't feel like they're appreciated. They feel like a loser in the situation. So the more you can make him feel like a winner, the better. So what I recommend is something called compliment then request. So always complimenting first the things that you appreciate that he does. Okay, the things that he does that make you happy. Pointing that out first and really expressing your appreciation for that. And then making a non-critical request. Okay? Now, if those requests don't get handled over time, that's a different story. But if you take that approach to where you're showing appreciation, then making a request, making him feel like a winner, then he is much more likely to get in the mood. Okay? Another thing I would say is, since we have such radically different ways of decreasing our stress levels between the genders, it's a really good idea to have same gender friends. Girls' night out, guys' night out. Guys should have guy friends, girls should have girlfriends. And those things can tend to get kind of split up in long-term relationships. But it can do a lot for your stress levels because you guys are communicating in ways and helping each other bring your stress levels that's really difficult to do between the genders. It's important to learn how to do it between the genders. It'll make your relationship much happier, but it's not a substitute for having same gender friends as well. All right, I hope that helps. And if you feel like that helped you, please share this video with other friends so you can help them as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're a guy, go to our free Facebook group, Rock Hard for Life, where you'll learn much more about primal sex, lasting as long as you want, and getting consistent, stage 4, natural, rock hard erections for your entire life. Until next time, go be a beast.